So I would like to start my talk with this quote. Become the one that people come to with question. And that is actually by Dr. Bushra Anjum. She is a tech lead with Amazon Prime. She is an extraordinary woman who made her mark in data science. She has an extensive work in predictive analytics, which is actually a male-dominated field. In one of her interviews, she pointed out that if someone in any organization has the capacity to treat other people as more than employees and subordinates, then with or without possession, he or she is considered a leader. This particular characteristic simply shows that a person has a genuine concern for them rather than viewing them as they are. Because this concern yield mutual communication. And that is very important in any group or organization, especially when your colleagues or team members have this difficulty in expressing their thoughts and feelings and ideas. This mutual communication initiates reciprocal discourse where you can, as a leader, you can help them surmount their difficulties. So let's have a reality check. Every day, we are bombarded with news, with talks, either good or bad, pertaining to certain leadership, either in the government, in the academe, public, or even private organization. So we have two concepts here, leader and coach. Most of the time, these two are actually used interchangeably, but they have their differences, but they have their own, but they also have their common denominator. So according to Hernandez, being a leader is an essence itself. According to him, in one of his research in leadership, being a leader is realizing organization's goals, either redefining it or refining it, and getting its attributes and values. More importantly, it is all about motivating people to work together and collaborate with themselves, and in some cases, with other teams to actually attain certain goals. Being coach, on the other hand, is said to be interpersonal based on the several literatures that I've read. Okay, and mostly this concept, the coach concept, is mostly connected in sports. Coaching is understanding that your team members and player possesses individual characteristic. Recognizing this individual characteristic takes time and a particular commitment. When we say particular commitment, that seems to be that makes it more personal. Okay, when you have this particular commitment, and this relationship creates a deeper connection, laden with trust, and also the main point is to reach a certain goal. Okay, being a leader and a coach has a common denominator, and that is actually goal achievement. Now, there are leader qualities that one must have to be an effective coach. I actually researched on the leadership qualities on what an effective coach must possess, and these five characteristics stood out. Meaning, these characteristics are usually in the list of the articles that I've read. Okay, so the first one is an effective coach walk the talk. This means that he must have a comprehensive insight of the organization, from the fundamental skills to innovative strategies and approach. According to the International Olympic Committee in sports, coaches may have experience playing, but not all former athletes make good coaches. That is actually true. Okay? Kasi kung gano'n, di lahat na lang ng player naging coach. Di po ba? So an effective coach must plan for the season, know the progressive nature of training, adaptation, knowing the rules, and provide a simple and structured environment for all athletes to succeed. This is where the prepare, rehearse, perform, and compete process comes in. This means that this process must be true to all members of the team or organization, and that is including yourself as a coach. An effective coach is actually positive. It is a no-no to make it a habit to find faults and afterwards assess who is to blame in a team or organization. In order to achieve certain productivity or to attain targets or goals, a coach must encourage to tap his trainees' potential until they reach their finest performance or skills. For example, if an athlete keeps failing to reach his assigned shooting ability in the free throw lines, or a swimmer, for example, after multiple trials failed to break your standard time, what must a positive coach do? Okay, so there is actually a difference between saying get those goals by next week or else, and asking what do you need to do differently to attain our goal by next week. The latter is actually more positive approach, and you are actually involving yourself as a coach in the process of attaining his goals. Number 2, a coach is supportive. So when we say supportive, it is actually more than providing encouraging word, or a pat in the back. Sorry for that. Okay. A genuine support from a coach comes with trust. A coach must know, and not only know, but give what his team members need to do their jobs well, including training, time, and equipment. A coach must also be willing to answer his team's queries and apprehensions. And this is also one way of anticipating your team members' needs and preventing them from encountering difficulties in the future. So it's actually saving you from a lot of problems in supporting your team. Okay. So a coach is a great motivator. So the coach, I think this is one of the greatest role of a coach. Okay, so a coach role is to create an environment and to provide the opportunity for his team members to express their motivation in all that they do. It is the coach role to support the athletes and encourage them to unleash their fire. Okay, in preparation and in performance. A coach must have the ability to make his team members or trainees understand that they can completely control their training and their own effort during training, but they cannot control what their opponent does or the outcome of every competition. So that is actually important. Meaning that you should motivate your trainees or your athletes or your team members that you are competing with yourself. Okay, that is the first thing that you must do. You must compete with yourself, other than you are competing with your opponent. Okay, motivation from their coach is one of the reason why most athletes overcome adversity, setbacks, disappointment, injuries, and even non-selection. So I am a particular fan of this particular movie, Coach Carter, and there are a lot of scenes there that actually displays powerful motivation from Coach Carter. I think everyone anybody who needs a certain motivation in life, in particular, should watch that movie. Okay. So a coach is committed. So it does not matter how long an individual takes to focus or understand his aspiration or reach his goals, a coach must never give up. Okay? A coach believes that it is just the strength or intelligence that pull a person through any situation. It is a continuous effort. That is actually the magic word there. It is not only an effort. It is a continuous effort that unlocks all potential of any individual. That is also the reason why coach with this particular quality is never afraid to experiment and to learn innovative practices that will benefit his group. It takes a lot of commitment from my coach to continually looking out for the best interest of his team members. That is true. Okay? Kaya nga ang nakalagay dito, it's actually going beyond instruction or teaching. Okay. So attaining success is undoubtedly a collaborative effort of both the coach and the trainee or the athlete. The coach has to take the lead and has the relationship as the relationship progress, a partnership emerge. That is true. Okay. Sadly, though coaches are actually deemed important part of the sporting success in our country, they remain most of the time anonymous and having the athletes taking most of the attention and recognition, especially during their winning moments. But with the advent of social media and the means of communication and technology and people being analytically and logically aware, we are now slowly changing this culture. Coaches now are getting the appreciation they truly deserve. This is the fact that without them, we will not be able to know the names of successful sports stars or individuals that we take delight in watching. So this is Edessa G. Flordeliz, ang inyong lingkod po mula sa lalawigan ng Bayani at Banal, Bataan. Maraming salamat